Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Mitchell Renz here, ready to get into the latest news going on around this silver and black. My question to everyone out there, does Ndamukong Suh want to be a Raider? Well, kind of sounds that way. So yesterday he was on ESPN and he was being asked all these different types of questions about what his future holds now that he's at this age. He essentially was like, well, it sounds like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not going to be an option for me. If you remember, Tampa Bay, they signed free agent Akeem Hicks essentially a month ago. But you know what? When Suh was asked by Mina Kimes, what about the Raiders? He smiled, he had a grin, and in a nonchalant way was kind of like, well, I don't know if I would mind it. This is his exact quote that he ended up going with. I've been exchanging messages with Chandler Jones and Maxx Crosby. It's an interesting opportunity for sure. We'll see where it ends up, but the AFC West is tough. The fact that he used the word interesting opportunity for sure makes me believe that the Raiders already have an offer on the table. And I've been saying for months that I know for a fact that the Raiders are interested, but interesting opportunity sounds like that there is a deal on the table. And shout out to Maxx and Chandler for trying to recruit him. Then, bright and early this morning, Suh tweets this. It was a quote tweet of Adam Schefter's tweet about Suh joining his show yesterday, and all he said was, Raiders could be fun. The fact that I saw the grin, the fact that he said it's an interesting opportunity, you got Maxx Crosby, Chandler Jones chiming in, and now Ndamukong Suh tweeting out this morning, Raiders could be fun. You know what, man? I 100% agree, and if you want the Raiders to go out and sign Ndamukong Suh, if you want Suh in that silver and black, repping the shield, all I want you to do right now is like this video and then share it as many places as you can, because I want to get 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 likes on this bad boy, because that way we can show Ndamukong Suh that Raider Nation truly, truly wants him on their team. So with all this news happening, I'm going to go back to a show that I did a few days ago at this point, and it was titled Starting Caliber Free Agent Targets. And my entire idea behind this show was there were 5 free agents out there, and I try to go realistic free agents, that the Raiders could still sign to bring in and compete for starting jobs. I told y'all that the Raiders were interested in Suh. The fact that Johnathan Hankins and Bilal Nichols are currently battling injuries. And then you go back and you look at the fact that Suh, not only is he just one mean SOB and just totally resembles what I feel like a Raider is, the dude hasn't missed a game since 2011. And he's missed only 2 games his entire career. That's unbelievable to me. So he is getting up there in age. Going to be 36 years old, but at 6'4", 313 pounds, there's still not many people. Like, you know, you ever talk to somebody like that guy's got old man strength? Like my dad, I swear, until he was 55 years old, hell, even my grandfather, they just had old man strength. And Ndamukong Suh's got old man strength, and he's 36 years old, coming off a season where he had 27 tackles last season, 7 tackles for loss, 13 quarterback hits, 6 sacks. Then you go look at his numbers in 2020. 44 tackles, 6 sacks, 19 quarterback hits. I get it. He's getting up there in age, but people said the exact same shit about Casey Hayward, and Casey Hayward was the best cornerback that the Raiders brought in, and he also was a teacher, a leader, which, yes, this is a good group of guys that the Raiders have, but I'll take vets that have been there, that have done that, and this is a guy who has a Super Bowl ring. He's a Pro Bowler. He's a future Hall of Famer, and you look at some of these numbers from a career standpoint, 191 games played, 590 tackles, 71 sacks, 130 tackles for loss, 212 quarterback hits. Being a defensive tackle is not an easy job. A lot of times you do the dirty work. You don't get any love from it. Why? You're taking on double teams. And I like the players that the Raiders have. But if there's one thing that I've noticed, there's not a lot of pass rushing ability from the defensive tackle group that we have, which, sure, you're not normally going to get it, but Johnathan Hankins has the most career sacks on the Raiders right now at DT. He's 30 years old. He's got 14 and a half. Bilal Nichols, he's at 11. Sure, that's only 4 years. He's probably the best guy to do it. But then Vernon Butler with 8, Andrew Billings 3.5, Kyle Pecco, Kendall Vickers with 2, Tyler Lancaster 1.5. And then you got Neil Farrell, Matthew Butler, Minor Tagovailoa, Amosa, all rookies. There's not a lot of experience there, so bring in Suh, and he can not only get after the quarterback, but he can also be a teacher. So this is one thing I don't want you guys to miss. When big-time news or stories happen, around the Raiders, we go live. We're the number one most watched Raiders show in the world, but it's because of our dedication. It's because of that commitment to excellence. It's also because Chat Sports here, we know how to party. So if the Raiders sign Ndamukong, you might want to leave work early. You might want to set a reminder, go out and get some Fireball, go grab a six-pack or two, and I hope you guys are ready to party because it's not going to be quite like Devontae Adams, but it might be close to Kenyon Drake. So hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications because I promise y'all we're partying. So nothing has happened yet at this current moment. The reason why I'm making this video is because of the interview that happened yesterday on ESPN with Ndamukong Suh, with Mina Kimes, and I believe Schefter was involved in there somehow. And then bright and early this morning on Tuesday, Suh tweeted out, Raiders could be fun. And I am going to be doing my live show unless the Raiders do end up signing Suh a little bit later today at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. But my job here is to keep you guys as up-to-date as humanly possible. And if you're a die-hard Raiders fan that's just like, man, it's June, but I need more content in my life, dude, I totally feel you there. I'm over on Locals as well. Monday, I put out a video, supporters only, which I think if you like fantasy football, you'll enjoy that. I'm going to put out another video tomorrow, and then on Thursday, I'm going to be doing a live. The very first video I did last week, oh, wait, there's this guy. And I was told by a source that the Raiders are interested in signing certain defensive tackles. I list certain names. Yes, and Ndamukong Suh was on that list. But, hey, if you would have already been a supporter, you would know. You can join at RaidersReport.locals.com. There's the show I did last week, the live show. I did a video, what was it? I think also last week. This NFL player could be cut, and the Raiders would be interested. Can you figure it out who it is? If you're a fantasy football fan, if you are a yearly supporter over on Locals, you're going to have an opportunity to be in a fantasy football league with me. So I did the 3 best value players according to ADP. It's all available over on Locals, so you can either go to the link below, or I'm going to do my best Vanna White impression, scan that QR code. At the end of the day, if you're a diehard fan that just wants more content, that's what Locals is essentially all about. So if you go out and you get Ndamukong Suh, what does it do to your roster? What does it do to the other players that essentially are, yes, going to be on the same team, but this is also the offseason. There are jobs online. You're going to be battling it out with other players in the DT room, and currently there's 10 defensive tackles on the depth chart. So we're going to go through this a little bit slower because I want to be able to go through and talk to you about each of these guys. You have your top 2 dogs, Johnathan Hankins, Bilal Nichols. You have your 2 rookies who you drafted in the 2022 NFL Draft, Neil Farrell Jr. and Matthew Butler. Besides that, there are a lot, and I mean a lot of question marks, which we will get to. Let's first talk about Johnathan Hankins. He had surgery back on May 17th, lost to me in a burger-eating competition, so he's probably still mentally trying to get over that. He doesn't expect to play in the preseason. You're probably not going to see him out there on the practice field, but when I talked to him, he sounded like he was healthy. He said he felt like he had a brand new body, which is a great thing to consider because he's a gigantic human being. However, he's probably your top run stopper. And if you're a coaching staff trying to evaluate talent after OTAs and after minicamp preparing for training camp, you don't have a lot to see. So if you couldn't see Johnathan Hankins, and if you couldn't see Bilal Nichols, who I was told is dealing with the knee injury. Unfortunately, I can't reveal what that knee injury is. I'm sure it's going to come out sooner rather than later. But he's also not going to be practicing at Raiders OTAs. And you're probably not going to see him during the preseason. I was told he would be ready for the regular season. But a new coaching staff that's looking at a defense that, let's face it, needs to be better, ranked 19th against the run last season, 26th against points, given up. And you're dealing with all these great teams in the AFC West. Your 2 best DTs aren't out there. Not that you're going to hit the panic button, but you have to go do your homework, Dave Ziegler, Josh McDaniels, and you have to look at the other talent that's surrounding you. Not only that, Johnathan Hankins is absolutely getting up there in age. There's no 2 ways about it. So here's my question to the nation. Should the Raiders sign Suh? Type Y for yes, type N for no. If you're typing Y for yes, be an overachiever, give me a contract that you're thinking that he could end up going with. If you say no, okay, is there another option you would consider, or you're just like, no, he's not any good anymore? Please let me know. The reason why I'm typing my Y for yes is because not only do I believe that Ndamukong Suh can help the Raiders win now, he can help the Raiders win in the future. And what I mean by that is he can come in and teach some of these younger guys. Like if I'm Matthew Butler, if I'm Neil Farrell Jr., and I can learn behind a future Hall of Famer, I am all about trying to make that action happen. Butler is definitely probably more suited to get after the quarterback than Neil Farrell, but Farrell at 6'4", 330 pounds, he's going to be that big body up the middle. Obviously, you're hoping that he could be like Ndamukong Suh. That's a very tall task to ask there. But even if Suh's not on the team in 2023, 2024, you're hoping that Farrell, Matthew, Butler are players that learn behind him, act like a sponge, soak up all the information, and take what they learn from Suh, Hankins, some of these other vets, and then they can use it as they go on. If you decide to pass on Ndamukong Suh, there are some other top free agent defensive tackles out there. Sheldon Richardson's still available. Larry O, I will will say that he is going to be visiting with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's also recently visited with the New York Jets. Linval Joseph, Eddie Goldman is definitely a name to keep in mind. Danny Shelton as well. But if you decide to not go out and get Suh, here are just some other names to keep in mind. Now, it's going to be a busy offseason, y'all. I promise you that, but we keep you up to date here on the Raiders Report. If anything else happens, I will do my best to keep you up to date on Twitter and on Instagram at MitchellRenz365. And if you follow me on those social media platforms, you probably already know the news that Ndamukong Suh tweeted that, hey, Raiders would be fun. So here's a totally random question, and the reason why I'm asking this is because on my walk to work today, I'm talking to my dad, and my dad threw out a name. And I was like, all right, I kind of like that. I'm going to put that on the show. Who is one of your favorite Raiders of all time? Let me know. And he goes, Ndamukong Suh reminds me a lot of like Leo Alzado. And I was like, all right, well, tell me why. He's like, man, this dude was mean. He was nasty. Nobody wanted to mess with him. And sure, you can't quite be that type of player in today's NFL because it's a little bit more soft. But let me know. Who's one of your favorite Raiders of all time? And if you agree with my dad's comparison, please let me know.